Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. We are back for some more F1 24 driver career mode for round number 21 of 24 here, ready for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And sorry if I sound a little bit under the weather. I tested positive for the COVID-19 coronavirus, so that's why I'm a little bit under the weather, but I guess during this time we will just go and try to make some videos, so hopefully I can catch up a little bit. Hope you guys are enjoying this series. We got 3 more races after this, so we're clicking down closing to the end of Season 1, which after the end of Season 1 we'll probably take a little bit of time off from career mode and focus on other things, because I do have another video coming out about something really more important, or by the time this is coming out you probably have already seen that video, but we need to get straight to the point, and straight to the point, Toto Wolff has arrived at Embassy. Obviously, Mercedes is potentially a move for next year that we are looking at. Hamilton is sitting P9 or P9 in the championship, Russell P6, but overall, Mercedes could be possibly the move on the cards here, and I have been negotiating with Mercedes for about a couple weeks now. Compared to Alpine, ultimately, I think this team would ultimately be a lot better for us, and I feel like it's weird that kind of Mercedes approached us. I thought it'd be like Ferrari or something, but negotiations seem to be going well. Toto Wolff clearly possibly would like to sign me for next year, so I'm open to signing with them. I have no other intentions to sign anywhere else. I mean, I could change my mind and try to go to Ferrari, but I think Mercedes would be probably the best move for us. I don't know where they stand within the regulation change, but they are looking pretty good. Their durability seems to be pretty strong, but yeah. Possibly contract on the target.
So, good news and bad news. The good news is the meeting went well. The bad news, your current employers got wind of it and they aren't thrilled. Get ready to grovel. This might set back your recognition with them a bit.
Well, good news is they're happy. Bad news is Alpine's not happy. Recognition has gone down by a lot. Let's see how much it's gone down by, or we'll take a look at it later, but it probably doesn't really bother me too much. I really don't. I'm not really thinking about extending my contract at Alpine. I don't want to waste my career at a French team that hasn't had any success in multiple years, but speaking of that, like I said, I don't want to carry any resource points over from... I don't want to leave them with any resource points, so I'm going to just try to save what I can and not really try to upgrade the car, but hey, if we got to do what we got to do. So anyways, it's time for sprint quali, and see what we can do in sprint quali. I think it's going to be a challenge, but Brazil is probably one of my favorite tracks, so let's go see what we can achieve here in sprint quali.
It's a Saturday showdown. Anyone fancy some hot laps around Interlagos? It's qualifying day here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Well, hello Brazil, and welcome to sprint quali, and it is it's a rain session, so that's not great. Obviously, well, it looks like the rain's only going to last for about 10 minutes and we're going to get some dries, but this whole weekend, it said even SQ1, SQ2, SQ3, sprint race, rain, quali, like the whole weekend was just going to be rain, so clearly the radar is lying to us still, and that is a bug, which is kind of frustrating, but they need to get that figured out because it's quite of a joke, but anyways, any weather could change over time. But yeah, SQ1, we're on dry tires. No one's really gone to the intermediates. We're going to sit on the dries and try to get out of Q1. Q1 obviously only sets of mediums, so we'll see what the mediums can do really on the start of this stint, and just trying to get into Q3 would be the goal. So they're obviously, like I said, practice felt pretty good. It was raining a lot in practice. It was heavy rain, then it went down to about medium to inter conditions, but we never really got much dry running in, so it made it a bit tough. But anyways, coming across the line now for our second run, I believe, and the front right tire, the front left tire will not warm up. I mean, it is super cold, 157 degrees Fahrenheit. It starts warming up later into the lap, but it's not really been warming up. And well, we're back out again. We didn't really get the greatest of runs, and we're dead last at the moment. So obviously, I'm not really good with interslick conditions, I guess you could say. So we go out again. The Haas car, I believe, I don't know who that is. They are behind us. We're gonna go out again. We actually did another run, and actually put us P12. So I think we are safe, but a really bad turn 1 and a really bad turn 2. But I think we could possibly be safe going into Q2. SQ2 here, I don't think that we should really be out, but we go again. Full second up on our lap this time, so we are making steady improvements as we go on down into the last corner here, the penultimate corner of this track, and then a good slingshot uphill, and you go up the hill of Interlagos, which is probably my favorite. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the track, same as the middle sector. Come across checker flag now. This should put us into SQ2 as we are clear into SQ2. We actually go P2 that lap, so that was a good lap. We're right behind Yuki Tsunoda, and Hamilton decides to outbeat us all. So yeah, a couple guys actually went out on SQ2 runs. Gasly not far behind. We're about half a second off Hamilton's run, so that wasn't really that great. Magnussen, Ricardo, Bottas, Sargent, the GOAT, they all kind of got through. There's your bottom 5 that are out, though. We have some shockers there. Lando Norris, George Russell, Carlos Sainz, those 3, the big 3. One of the big 3s are out. Lance Stroll, who's out, which nobody really cares of, and Alex Albon, which I feel like is kind of a shocker too. I thought one of the kick sours would go out, but nope, Alex Albon is out too. So we got a mixed up grid, obviously, for the sprint. So obviously sprint quali, the new format is probably a lot better than the old format, but qualifying laps are not my best friend, so that's why I don't really like this format. But if we could just get rid of the sprint format together, that'd be amazing. But anyways, SQ2 time. Back in the mediums, second set of mediums this time, or brand new set obviously, but first run wasn't really that great, so we go out again. Or this was the second run. We actually had enough fuel and enough ERS on board. Obviously you can't really dump overtake because the AI don't use overtake, which is kind of dumb because you can use it but the AI can't, so I don't really get that, but whatever. Anyways, P9, that for the second run, so we are somewhat safe, but we're not really safe. We could be knocked out by the slower guys behind us. We are in an RB sandwich with Ricardo and Tsunoda, so we go out again for SQ2 and back on the mediums, and hopefully this should put us into SQ2. But let's take a lap here, run into Lagos, and like I said, turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, very good to get the power down and heading down this straight. Really difficult braking down here. It is kind of downhill a little bit. You want to come around, flow the car through there, take as much of the outside curb, and then shoot the car down here, and then you go back uphill. This corner right here, you could possibly do flat out in quali, but I would not recommend it. It's just too much. And heading into the middle sector now, this is kind of where you kind of had to have confidence in the car to swing it in left and right, and use as much of the outside curb as you can through here, and then take the car right up to the top of the track, take the inside curb, and then use this exit here. And then obviously it's a fast flowing part right here, flat out completely. Take the exit curb, then try not to take too much curb, but use as much of the right shag as you can. Take the outside, and then you are a foot flat to the floor to the finish line here. This is where you're gonna have to trust the straight line speed and the RPMs, and basically you just need to trust your car to get the grid exit out the top speed. But this should put us in SQ2, SQ3, not SQ2. God, I'm botching already, and that actually put us P2. So good lap. I don't know who got P1 in SQ2. It could have been Pierre. I don't know. Maybe Alpine double row front row lockout possibly. No, Max Verstappen, of course. Max Verstappen tops the grid in SQ2. We do split the Red Bulls. Gasly sent P4, so we are looking pretty competitive this weekend. There's your bottom 5 that are out there. That's Yuki Tsunoda, Zhou Guanyu, Kevin Magnussen, Nico Hulkenberg, and maybe another surprise, or it's probably Logan Sargent. So there's your bottom 5 that are out. Bottas and Ricardo just get through. Fernando Alonso also getting through, obviously. Alonso having to try to take the reins off of in the Constructors' Championship, but Q3, nothing really to write home about. Half a second off Pierre and setting P7, so wasn't really the best. 2/10 off Gasly, which it's kind of whatever. I mean, I think we probably could have got Gasly if we tried a little bit more, but it's kind of difficult. And like I said, I'm not really the best at quality laps, so getting these laps in is like, you know, it's a bit challenging. And I don't know where the AI are really gaining much time. I'm assuming by the straights, but hey, you never know what's going to happen. So we are lining up pretty good for the sprint race. It is supposed to possibly rain towards the end of the race, so it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but I just love a challenge. So let's get ready for the sprint race and let's get a good result and try to get ahead of Aston.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. We're racing today then at Interlagos, a historic 2.7-mile circuit and one of the few anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar. 15 corners in total, 9 to the left and 6 to the right, with a technical middle section opening up to a flat-out Sector 3. That gives us our best passing opportunity down into Turn 1. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Perez, Leclerc, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Cowboy, Hamilton, Bottas, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Joe, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Sargent, Norris, Stroll, Albon, Russell and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say, they've got the better of them more often than not. Now, you're the racing driver in this partnership, so tell us about this racing driver. Put us in their shoes. How are they going to be feeling?
Well, you've got to be prepared, Crofty. Before you even step foot inside the car, you've got to know, you've got to have a pre-race game plan. You've watched videos before you get into the car of previous races gone by. You know where you have to place your car if X, Y or Z happens in front of you or behind you. So having this clear game plan is absolutely essential before you get in the car.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Welcome to the grid. 12 laps around Interlagos, and for the sprint race here, it's supposed to rain towards the end of the session, so it will be a little bit of a challenge here, but 12 laps. Everybody should be on the soft tires. I don't think anybody else is really going to go to the mediums, so it should be okay. But yeah, 12 laps around this place should be pretty good. And well, let's see what we can achieve here in the sprint format. And like I said, it's going to be a challenge because everybody else has basically got equal cars at this point, so it's going to be tough. But here we go for the 5 red lights here around the Interlagos circuit, and lights out and away we go here for the Brazilian Grand Prix sprint. And we don't get the best of the start. We actually got jumped off the line by Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton, and Hamilton goes down the inside, so we got a horrendous start. Bottas also sneaking his way through, and Hamilton makes a little bit of contact, and he absolutely just shut the door on us and completely just hit the front left tire, so he's not clearly making friends on the track. Obviously our bitter rival at this point in time, but we go down a route. Well, I thought we were going around the outside of Hamilton, but I guess not, so Hamilton defends that off, and we'll see what we can achieve here as we approach on uphill. Bottas and Ricciardo are kind of closing in as well, so we need to keep an eye on them as well, but as long as we can stay within this top 8, that's all that really matters. We are sitting at 1 point. We need to get ahead of Alonso, though. That is the goal. If we can get ahead of Fernando Alonso, that's all that really matters, I guess you could say. And we can't really lose time to Alonso, so that would be crucial if we don't. But anyways, lap 1, towards the end of lap 1 here, going up the hill. Like I said, everybody's got equal cars at this point, but this is where the AI are kind of getting a lot of time. I don't know what the speed is on the straights that they got, but they got some pretty good speed in the straights, so it is tough, let's just say that for sure. But Piastri now is, well, he did set the fast lap of the race now. DRS now enabled on lap 3 of this Grand Prix now. And lap 3, like I said, we didn't really gain much time. We're kind of losing a little bit of time. Alonso's pace is not that strong. Like I said, I feel like Aston have really struggled a lot this weekend too. I mean, Alonso got into Q3 somehow in that car, but I think they're like 5th or 6th in the performance index, so they have taken a deep turn trajectory down on development wise, but we are pulling a decent gap to the guys behind us. Bottas and Ricciardo, basically that midfield. Obviously, a couple guys in the back there that are kind of in that midfield group, which are some big names like Lando and Carlos and all those. So it is a bit of a challenge for them to get up through this field, but it's not really for us as we're going to try to push on. And Hamilton is next up, though. He is our target. I want to get it past Hamilton now. In lap 4, lap 5, we're now turning on to attack mode. Here comes me. Hamilton's go down the inside. He defends the inside line. We go around the outside. We'll go a little bit too deep, but we get around Hamilton, and that move is done. So we move up to P7, 2 points now to our name. Fernando Alonso is next, but he is all over the back of Sergio Perez. So obviously that front of the cube kind of got backed up, or they all had to check up. I don't know what happened up there. Maybe someone got loose or someone like that. But Ricardo's are fighting with Valtteri Bottas. If they want to charge up here to get Hamilton, because I mean, you never know what could happen. They could possibly do that. But lap 5, and seeing where kind of the pace is, I feel like it is kind of good that we are kind of getting a good represent of where I think we will be for this race. But the pace-wise is not that bad. The race pace is actually quite strong, and we've always kind of had better race pace, I feel like, in the car than the one-lap pace. So it is good, and this race pace is gonna keep on. This race pace is gonna keep on growing, I guess you could say, as we go later into this race. So lap 6 now, and approaching lap 7, all over the kind of the back of Fernando Alonso. Alonso is defending this pretty well. Well, he also is getting DRS from Perez, so it's actually helping him out a lot. But the more that Perez gets DRS from Leclerc, then Alonso is going to get DRS, so it makes it challenging. But lap 7 now, approaching lap 7, we're all over the back, but we can't really get a move done, so we kind of have to wait back and see what can happen. But Alonso, and like I said, these DRS trains, which I've seen to be a common thing in F124 because they can't get the things figured out. It's quite of a joke, so it's kind of a mess, I guess you could just say that. And they really need to get these DRS trains figured out, because it makes the racing not enjoyable, but also the ERS modes. It doesn't make the racing that good with the ERS modes, I guess you could say. So Alonso next. We got a decent exit than what Alonso did. He didn't really get the best exit, so we're actually going to possibly get around Fernando here. And Fernando Alonso is next up on our target list. Alonso's got DRS. We got the DRS as well. Alonso's going to give us just enough space around the outside. He defends the inside line as usual. We go in a little bit deep as we usually do. We brake a little bit too late, but we get around Fernando, and Fernando is done. So add more points to our name as we now add a total of 3. And Perez is up next in the Red Bull. So Red Bull now, Ferrari and McLaren are next up. Lap 9, Perez is next, but I don't think we could possibly get Perez, because Perez's straight line speed is pretty good. So, but we'll never give it a go. And that Red Bull does have a pretty good rocket ship in the straight line, but he is charging a lot. He's charging a lot of battery actually, so he's been using a little bit too much maybe. But we get close, but not too close, so it doesn't make it that enjoyable. But lap 11 now, we actually got a fight in the midfield. That's actually for P9. It is starting to rain on the racetrack now. Bottas down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo. Ricciardo's got the inside line as well, so we got an epic battle here, or for basically nothing. I mean, they're just kind of fighting for, I guess, positions, but RBs versus a kick Sauber. Here comes Tsunoda. He goes down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo, and even I believe that is one of the Haas cars as well. They're possibly going to be making a move. Lando Norris and George Russell in this train, which they're kind of the main focus of that train. And Carlos Sainz, who really has not made any positions gained. He hasn't gained anything in this race, and he's stuck behind the kick Sauber of Zhou Guanyu. And lap 12 now, the rain has picked up quite a lot, and it's actually getting really, really damp here. So I don't think it's pouring, but it's a good, heavy, steady shower. So thankfully it is the last lap, and we won't be on these tires much longer because everybody's going to be in ice skating rink out here. But there's a little bit of a glitch there, which for some reason there's just a buttload of sparks that come flying at you, which makes it a bit worrying, because I thought one lap we were going to get some damage, because I thought someone's car lifted up in the air and they broke the front wing, but no, they didn't. Perez all over the back, trying to put pressure all over the Perez. Maybe get the AI into a little bit of a mistake there, but Perez doing an immaculate job staying ahead, and Leclerc as well. Gasly, though, props to Gasly. He's sitting P3, so if Gasly keeps that going, that's just going to add more points to the name. And at the end of the day, we're not going to get close enough here on lap 12. We almost lost the back end through there, and we're just pushing a little too much, but it is going to be P6 on the road for the sprint race, not a bad result, honestly. Could have been better, but I'll take 3 points and actually kind of close that gap down to Aston Martin in the championship.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Yes, yes, yes. Take the car on the way in, I guess you could say, as we now approach towards the main qualifying for this Grand Prix. Verstappen gets driver of the day, which probably is worth it because he drove an amazing race. And yeah, so P6, not a bad result. Honestly, it was probably one of my better results, I feel like, in a minute. I think that might have been the best result in the sprint format entirely. I don't think we've had a good finish in any sprint format whatsoever this season. I don't think we've had a single good one. I mean, maybe... No, we never had a good sprint format at all. We never actually had a good sprint race until today, so I will take that. Thank you very much. But Gasly with a P3, really good job. And Leclerc, Perez, they just got the DRS off here, which kind of made it impossible for us to overtake. But Alonso gets 2, we get 3, Gasly gets 6, so that's 9 points in total compared to Alonso's 2. And, well, they got some catching up to do, but Stroll, he's not really looking that hot so far, and he really needs to get this team up if he wants it. But Drivers' Championship, Gasly gets ahead of Stroll now in the standings. We close the gap to Hamilton just a little bit, 89 points to our name. P9 is possible. P6 though so far in the constructors. So like I said, we are slowly catching up to Aston, but we need some miracles. We're going to need some race wins. Or we're going to need a race win maybe or two to kind of maybe jump ahead of them. But yeah.
Showdown. Anyone fancy some hot laps around Interlagos? It's qualifying day here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Oh, here we go. More qualifying. That's what we came here for. We just came here for all qualifying laps. Just qualifying laps. Qualifying. Welcome to the main, basically the main qualifying for where we're going to sit in the race. So, Q1 time, and like I said, I mean, we kind of got some good runs in SQ1, SQ2, SQ3. I mean, so it kind of knows kind of where we can find the best time through this racetrack here and Interlagos. But SQ1 now, or not SQ1, Jesus Christ, don't commentate with COVID, kids, it's bad. Q1, and well, let's try to see if we can get into Q3. It is possible, but we took way too much curb on the inside. This lap was just a full-blown mess. So we're not going to be, I don't think this lap is going to be anywhere near good to be the top 10. We could honestly be dead last on this lap. It's not really a good lap. From caution ticket flag now. Where is this going to put us? Well, I predicted you guys, dead last, 108.9. So it was a really horrendous lap. Actually, nope, not dead last. Logan Sargent just takes the reins off us. So, Logie Bear, get your crap together, man. You're getting dropped like in real life, but in the game. Anyways, another run in Q1. We go out again on the soft tires, and hopefully this puts us in. This is a second set of the soft tires, so hopefully this can get us somewhere near the top of the grid. But we set a purple sector 2. That is a bit buggy sometimes, so I'm not going to believe it as much as I can. But personal best in sector 1, fastest in sector 2, SB Pro sector 3, and that actually, well, that was a good lap because that put us P2. So we are safe, and I don't think we need to go out for another run, as Norris not far off Lando Norris at all. So good run and good lap, and I will take that. So P2 so far in Q1. Well, P3, I guess Gasly went out and did another lap. But there's your bottom 5 that are out. Hulkenberg, Bottas, Joe Guan Yu, Alex Albon, Logan Sargent. Those are your bottom 5 that are out. Magnussen, Perez just snuck through in the Red Bull, and he got out-qualified by Tsunoda and Ricciardo, which is kind of maybe a little bit more realistic, but hey, you never know. And Verstappen says P9, so Verstappen a little bit behind so far. Alonso and I believe Lance Stroll all made it through, and yep, Alonso and Stroll both made it through. Alonso sent P6. Dude just outperforms the car like crazy. Q2, another bit to write home about. We just snuck through basically by a good 0.3. We got ahead of Alonso and Hamilton, but Gasly sent P2. Gasly is chucking in some laps that are way out of my range. He's just finding a little bit of time. I don't know where he's finding the time, but we're gonna try to do some really stupid stuff in Q3 to kind of try to get a good result. Q3 time, last run in Q3. Here we go for a lap. Let's see where this could put us here. This is the final lap of Q3, last qualifying lap of the weekend. So this lap really needs to count. We sit P6 so far. Like I said, this lap is going to be a whole-blown send. I mean, we're going to try to find as much time as we can to kind of try to get close, but so far it's going really well. We're quite tight in the timing, but I think we possibly could be going flat out, or we're going to attempt going flat out. No, we don't have the confidence. We tried flatting out, and the last run, I believe the run before in Q1, and that did not work as much as we can. I thought we were going to do it again, but it is very tight, but we do need to find all the time through Sector 3 now. We need to have a Verstappen Monaco Q3 of 2023, I guess you could say, to find a lot of time, but so far, really good time found so far. Not a lot of time, but a good amount of tenths. Costly, good amount of tenths, and we get a good exit here. Where is this going to put us? About 5 tenths, about almost close to a tenth up on this lap. It is very tight at the front, like I said. It is very tight, so you never know what's going to happen. Quick cross checker flag now. Gasly says P5. Where is this going to put us? I think we didn't really find much time because I think we're P7, and we are P7 for the grid. So we didn't find much time in Q3, but it was close. So it was a good effort. Not bad, honestly. I'll take that, to be fair, because I didn't really expect to have the greatest of runs. So Q3, not bad. 2 tenths off Verstappen. Verstappen gets pole position, so really good run for him. Norris is P2, Leclerc is P3, Gasly in P5. So we are lining up pretty good. Alonso is P10, but yeah, as we approach this race, we gotta just stay ahead, stay focused, and I gotta try to get a podium.
Welcome along then to where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the very final corner. And just 1 year later, Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's time then for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7 mile circuit with 9 left turns and 6 right turns for a total of 15 corners. It's a wet one today as well, so grip and visibility will be at a premium, and the drivers will need to be careful coming up the hill in Sector 3, the scene of many an accident over the years. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Gasly, Cowboy, Perez, Hamilton, Russell, Verstappen, Stroll, Sainz, Magnussen, Oscar Piastri, Bottas, Albon, Sargent, Fernando Alonso, Hulkenberg, Joe, Ricciardo, and Yuki Tsunoda. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say, they've got the better of them more often than not. Now, you're the racing driver in this partnership, so tell us about this racing driver. Put us in their shoes. How are they going to be feeling?
Well, you've got to be prepared, Crofty. Before you even step foot inside the car, you've got to know, you've got to have a pre-race game plan. You've watched videos before you get into the car of previous races gone by. You know where you have to place your car if X, Y, or Z happens in front of you or behind you. So having this clear game plan is absolutely essential before you get in the car.
Here we are for a damp race, very damp, and welcome to the grid. 36 laps. We are lining up in a pretty good position with some grid penalties that some drivers did take, so it's going to be a bit of a wet one for sure because it's raining quite a lot. And line up P4. So Gasly's in P3, really good lap. And yeah, like I said, a couple guys take grid penalties. Verstappen is taking a penalty. He's already won the championship, so it doesn't really matter for him. He can start wherever he wants, and he can still win races. But anyways, for the 5 red lights here, let's get straight to the point here. It is time for the race here. 36 laps, lights on, and away we go for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. We actually get a decent start, not a bad start. Actually, that was a really mega start. We're now approaching P1 on the first lap. Norris sent the door a little bit on the inside, and we actually hit the back of him. Leclerc around the outside as well, but we actually got a really good run, and Gasly kind of got swarmed by Hamilton, so that really didn't help him out quite a lot. But so far, not a bad start, really good start, and Leclerc and Norris are they're basically the threat. And like I said, I told you we needed a podium. Well, we needed some luck to begin with to even start up here, but we had some luck, and the podium is in the reach because the podium is right there, and we are sitting in the podium. So, like I said, I mean, if we want to pull this gap away from Aston Martin, we really need a good last 4 races here. Like I said, obviously factor 2 sprint races would just make it very important as well. But so far, lap 1, Norris and Leclerc lead the way. Hamilton sitting behind. Perez overtook Gasly, so Perez is charging up the grid as well. Like I said, that Red Bull is going to be pretty quick no matter what. It's probably the fastest car right now as well. But Norris is leading this way, and we're losing a lot of time because we just don't got grip on this racetrack. I mean, we really don't got a lot of grip. The formation lap, we couldn't really warm up the tires either, so it made the formation lap quite a bit challenging, I guess you could say. But Norris with the 124.1, so he's closely into the 123s. We will get into the 123s, the 122s eventually, and then eventually we'll be sent to pretty blistering lap times. But lap 2 now. Pace is really good. We're just kind of sitting behind Leclerc at this point, but we're not really gaining much time because I feel like we just don't got a lot of grip on this racetrack. And lap 3 now, we're staying close, very close, but the gap behind us, Gasly's getting swarmed like a rock because Verstappen now overtakes him. So Gasly's pace is not really that strong, and now approaching up the hill towards lap 4 now. I mean, we're staying within the pack, but we don't really got the speed nor the pace right now at the moment, which is kind of expected because we are kind of a sort of midfield car, but we have been charging a lot towards the front. I feel like we're outperforming this car just a little bit, but Gasly's also maybe doing the same, or this is just where the car is. It's sitting really good, but Verstappen the 118.3. I mean, we were going to slowly break into those times, and like I said, blistering lap times will be coming eventually. The rain is supposed to stop around the middle of the race, so it actually will help us out quite a lot. But fastest lap now, we actually set a 118 flat. So track is getting quite faster, as of course, because, you know, everybody's getting rubbed into the circuit. So lap times will improve lap by lap by lap. And we now been given an objective to overtake Leclerc before lap 11. So we have something maybe to fight for just a little bit. And that'd be crucial. But Leclerc now, this is the rear wing of Leclerc. He's pulled a decent gap from us. Good second, I guess you could say. Norris to the 117.5. So we are getting faster and faster. The rain has actually just now stopped, and the track is starting to get dried up a little bit. The dry line is kind of forming, I guess you could say, but it is still a little bit damp. So keep an eye out for that. But the dry line is forming, and the rain has stopped. So this has turned into a bit spicy, and like I said, I mean, now the track feels dry at this point, and the tires are starting to overheat, so the track is improving quite a lot, and the sun is slowly peeking out through the clouds, I guess you could say, as well. So we got a bit of excitement now, I guess you could say, on our hands, because this is going to be a thriller. But fast lap now to Leclerc, the 160.8, and yeah, I think it's time. It's going to be close to time for dry tires, so we are going to pit for the hard. We're going to go to the end on the hard tires. We're trying to get some temperature in the inters because it's very good to go offline and just get some water in those tires to kind of cool them off just a little bit, and that is kind of crucial. But we are sitting pretty good, and I think it is going to be time for a pit stop here because I think the pits are going to open soon. But I think it's time we go on to the hard tires. It will be a little bit slippery, just a little bit, but I think it'd be a bold strategy call. And we're going to do it as we go into the pits. I don't think Leclerc is pitting, so we are the first of the stoppers. And I don't think anybody else is really going to be coming into the pits. Maybe someone in the lower midfield could be coming in because there could be some gambles throughout the field. But, I mean, we're just going to pit now and try our best. But, like I said, it's going to be very slippery off the pit exit. So, we got to be crucial on the hard tires. It's a little bit of a slow stop there in the rear left, or the rear right. Rear left, I apologize. I don't know left and rights clearly. And we come out the pit lane now, and like I said, very slippery a little bit, but we keep it on the track. That's all that really matters, I guess you could say. So a little bit twitchy coming out the pits, and we just get through. We're kind of tiptoeing around the pits because still there's no grip through the pit lane, but we got around. We tiptoe just nice, and we now line up P18. So, well, we're the first stoppers, and like I said, I mean, it's going to be slippery, but the track's going to dry up pretty quick, and this is going to be a little bit of a costly gamble. One of the reasons, I mean, Perez could overcut us because I think he was behind us, or that was Hamilton, someone like that, but Sargent is next up. We go down the inside of Logan Sargent. He gives us just enough space, and we get around Logan, and almost lost the back end through there, a little bit on the power. And like I said, I mean, we're tiptoeing about 70 miles an hour through the middle of the corner. That's how slow I'm kind of going to kind of make sure this car stays on track. And like I said, low-speed corners are very challenging in wet conditions because you lose a lot of grip. But here goes everybody else in the pit lane now. Verstappen, the 115.6. I don't think Verstappen is yet pitted, so I think he's going to stay out for one more lap. They're not going to double stop down at Red Bull. Ferrari, they're double stacking. A couple guys are double stacking. A couple drivers are double stacking. Some drivers aren't, though. So, bit of some quite gambles, and same issues with the left front. It won't warm up. So, a little bit challenging. But as we approach now, we need to get ahead of Hamilton and Perez as much as we can, but I think we got around Hamilton. I don't think we're going to get Perez. It's going to be close to the exit. Here's Perez on the exit. He's got the speed, but he can't really defend that much. He's on the cold hard tires. We get around Perez, and that move is done, but Perez is actually going to shoot right back around us as we overshot the corner. So, not really that great, I guess you could say, to overshoot the corner and then just have your rival go right back past you. So, rookie mistake through there. But... And as we continue on, Gasly now comes into the pits now, so I don't know why he didn't pit earlier on that stop. I think that might have been Gasly, or I don't know who that was. Maybe that was someone else. I don't know where Gasly's sitting, but I mean, I mean, Gasly's race has just gone from hell to worse, and Lando Norris is extending that lead. So Leclerc now as well, he can't match. Look, he can't match Norris's pace, and clearly not unless he actually had a slow stop. And Norris had a blistering stop, but lap 16 now. Well, we're all in the back for the podium position, so this is the fight for the podium. And Norris was now the fast lap. Here comes Perez, here comes us now. We got the fast lap now. And full charge, full send to approach the top of the grid. And Leclerc and Perez are the targets. I like to get a podium. I think a podium is achievable in this car. And, well, I mean, again, if we want to extend the gap in the championship, in the constructors, if we want to get closer, it'd be crucial if we do that. So lap 17, here comes Perez now, all in the back of Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. Leclerc now, he doesn't really defend too much. Perez going on the inside. Leclerc now, they're side by side. Costs a little bit of time. They're trying to approach the top of the grid, but now we're all over the back of them, and we had to kind of check up a little bit. Leclerc and Perez both got severely warmed up. The overtake now through here, and we got DRS off Leclerc. We got DRS from Perez 2-1 as we approach turn number 4. We'll go around the outside of Charles Leclerc, and that's no Sergio Perez. That's still side by side. We get around Perez, so we got 2-1 off the top of the 4. What a move that was, and with, well, that was a blistering lap, and we got around Perez, and Leclerc is now, his race pace has fallen like a rock because he's nowhere now, and Leclerc and, well, Verstappen now, he got around Leclerc, and Verstappen now is slowly going to be catching up to the Red Bull of Sergio Perez, but now we've actually now going to turn into defense because I don't think we're going to be able to catch Lando Norris in the McLaren, but we are sitting really well in P2, and well, Perez is not really a threat right now. He can't really get around us, but he is closer on this lap, very close, and Perez has been in this position before. Well, obviously, he was in the position last year in Sao Paulo where he was sent P4, and he got overtaken by Fernando. Well, he got overtaken by Fernando Alonso the last lap, so Perez might have learned from his mistakes, and maybe, but I mean, I don't know, so who knows what can happen there, but Perez now closer a lot on this lap, so he possibly will have to defend here through here, and the Red Bull driver, he's gaining, but I don't think he's close enough, and he's not that close enough, and he actually backs off out of that one, so he's not close, but he is slowly catching up. But on lap 25 now, we're keeping Perez at bay, and we're keeping Verstappen at bay as well, and Hamilton gets around Leclerc, so Leclerc's pace is really tremendously fallen off. And it's not really looking good for the Monegasque driver. And I think that he is fighting our teammate Pierre Gasly. But Alonso, I don't even think Alonso is anywhere in the top 10. I don't think he is. And it's not really looking great for Fernando Alonso. I don't think they're even in. They might be in the top 10, but he's way off the pace. And he's literally close to the Kick Sauber and maybe even the Mercedes as well. But back to our race. Lap 27 now. Verstappen gets around Perez, and he could be slowly challenging. We obviously had an amazing battle with Verstappen in last year's game in the Alfa Romeo Road to Glory series, but not this time because he's not really getting that close enough. So as we continue on, lap 31. Look at this tremendous fight in the lower points position. Here comes Charles Leclerc around the outside of Pierre Gasly. Gasly defends the inside line. Leclerc's got the inside line through. Who's gonna sneak through, and Gasly just defends that well. So Gasly playing the team game, and he's just kind of holding off the Ferrari. Here comes, although now the Ferrari that's actually called Sainz. He's actually gonna commit maybe some war crimes on Leclerc. No, he doesn't. He actually makes that clean, which very good. And well, yeah, there's Alonso. He's really nowhere near that, and I believe that is Lance Stroll. So I mean, yeah, they don't really got that good a pace. And last lap now of this Grand Prix, we try to catch up to Lando. We are catching up to him. It's not like we aren't, like we are, but we're not getting that close enough. So it is a bit challenging. But Lando Norris is going to win the Grand Prix. From our side, though, we're actually going to get a podium now. It's been a minute since I feel like we last been on the podium. I feel like the last podium maybe was Belgium, or the last podium was a minute ago. But we're going to get a podium here in this race. P2, that's going to help us a lot in the championship. Really good result. I'm not going to celebrate too much. Don't have the coronavirus.
You did a really good job today. Pretty sure the boss is going to be happy with that one.
Here's the checkered flag, and our winner has Landoed. It's Lando Norris for victory.
I mean, it looked like they were in a different category at points during the race, led every lap. I mean, what more can we say?
Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium right now. It's been a fantastic race for McLaren, that's for sure. And no doubt, they'll be celebrating tonight.
Here's your winner. Lando Norris wins the Grand Prix. We sit P2, Verstappen gets P3, so we got Lando Norris, who, I don't know if this is his first Grand Prix win. I don't think it is. Well, in the game, he's won obviously in Miami this year, but I don't know how many races Lando has won. I kind of lost track of kind of where everybody has kind of been in the head-to-head, but yeah, really good result from us. Oh, excuse me. I feel like it was much needed to kind of get this result, because we've really struggled a lot for the past couple of races. Mexico was a little bit of a high, but I mean, it wasn't that great as well, because we absolutely got, I don't know what happened, the AI just turned on rocket mode and they just overtook us left and right. So yeah, I mean, overall weekend, no Grand Slam for Verstappen. He could have Grand Slammed, he didn't, so a little bit of a tough one. And well, I mean, yeah, just good result. Just good result. And yeah, so overall, Gasly's in P6. He defended really well from Sainz, and well, Alonso actually fell off the points because he actually lost out to Russell, so that was huge for us in the championship. I don't know how much the gap has gone down, but I think with me and Gasly getting points helped us out quite a lot. So we'll take a look. But anyways, driver standings now. Approaching Hamilton. We're getting close to Hamilton, 107 now. We've actually broke into the 100 points mark, so good achievement for Alpine. The only achievement they will actually ever get in this sport. And well, yeah, and look at that gap. This gap's gone down quite a lot. It's about 45, maybe about 30 points behind Alpine. I think that's roughly about 45, so still quite a long way to go. But like I said, I mean, if we keep up podiums and we keep up good results, I think they'll lose out. I'm just saying. I mean, I think we have a good shot at possibly getting them. So we just gotta stay focused, stay ahead, and approach them. But thank y'all for watching this video. Thank you everybody who's been supporting this series. Really appreciate it quite a lot. Thank you everybody who's been supporting this channel. You guys have been awesome. You guys have really make me create more content because of you guys. Thank you everybody who's been supporting this series, supporting this channel. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. Have a good rest of your weekend, and I will see y'all in the next one.